Hey guys, it's Dr. Sam. Today's topic, muscle building topic and fat loss, but mainly muscle building. The question, the Q&A is how much protein do I need? And the question was also, should I start early in the morning, first thing in the morning with protein? Now, I've done topics about protein before, but I know it can be confusing. Growing up, I thought I needed way more protein than I do now. And then as the years have gone by, I've lowered it and I've increased it. So just to keep it simple, I always suggest people take about 1 gram per pound of body weight. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you have 200 grams of protein. What's the minimum you should take as far as protein per meal? About 25 grams. What's the maximum you should take per meal? It's about 50 grams. Right about that sweet spot is where at least clinical studies and so forth. So if you're gonna have if you're doing intermittent fasting, you're having one big protein meal a day, you're not gonna eat 200 grams of protein. Your body will absorb it, but it's not gonna utilize it well because protein gets utilized all day long, right? So it's not gonna be stored like fat or carbohydrates and glycogen in muscles and liver. So you need a lot more protein, especially for building muscle. So in all honesty, I thought I was getting 200 grams of protein, and for the longest time, and I started one day deciding to just weigh out all my food like I used to years and years ago. And I realized I thought I was having 50 grams of protein for most of my meals. I was having 30 or 35. And I'm like, man, I thought I was getting 200 grams and I was getting 165. And so I started just eating more protein, and I'm not a protein guy. I don't really like eating protein. So I started adding some protein shakes with most of my meals. So what I do is also, the other thing you want to do is you have to spread out your protein at least 3 meals, preferably 4, 5. I do it over 6. And I actually get more than 50 grams of 200 grams of protein per meal. Nowadays, I try to go for 300 grams. Why? Because my metabolism tends to be fast. I also have a hard time gaining muscle as it is. I'm just genetically a skinny guy. So I realized, why not eat more protein? I mean, it's not gonna harm you unless you have kidney problems. And even then, clinical studies have showed it's not gonna be problematic for your kidneys. So I have 300 grams and I average about 50 grams per meal. And first thing in the morning, I get up in the morning, I do my morning walk, I walk the dog, I get some sunshine, I'll check a couple emails, make sure everything's okay, and then I start my first meal. Doesn't matter what you eat as far as protein, eat what you like. Whether it's, animal protein is gonna be far better, but you can, if you're vegetarian, you can do pea protein or rice protein, but meat, good meat, pick good healthy meat. Having cold cuts is not good protein. So have your protein from, chicken, fish, red meat, and so forth. As far as protein powder, I will add about a scoop, which is 25 grams of whey isolate to about 3 or 4 of my meals. First thing in the morning, again, protein is good. I have a protein shake a little bit before my workout, about an hour before, and then I have half of it, and then I have the other half later during my workout. Again, what's in it? It's about 50 grams of protein and about 100 or so grams of dextrose, just fast-acting carbohydrates. Again, I just tend to burn calories real quick. So that's what I need to do. Keep something else in mind. It's got to be spread out, like I said, throughout the day. If you don't digest meat very well, like red meat, like I don't, you can take some apple cider vinegar to help digest it, but otherwise, don't eat something you don't like. And that's really pretty much it. Try to have a gram per pound, or up to 1.5 grams. The other thing is, as we get older, you don't digest or absorb protein as well. So when you get older, you're gonna need more protein. What am I saying older? I think after the age of 50, 55, and they say 60. So when you definitely, after the age of 60, if you're that old, you definitely wanna preserve muscle and work out. Muscle is the best thing you can do to improve your health, and you're gonna need more protein then. Again, eat it when you can. Try to spread it out throughout the day, preferably 3 or 4. Preferably I eat 5 meals a day. If you're 150 pounds, you can do 50 grams 3 times a day if that's what you want. I suggest 40, maybe 4 meals or something like that. A little bit more protein won't hurt you, but anyone is going to have, you know, if you're 200 pounds, the most I would take is double that. And again, the only people I know are doing that, these guys are working out a lot and they're taking some steroids, so that also improves protein synthesis. A couple other things. The more carbs you have, the more protein sparing it becomes. So if you're on a very low carb diet, or if you're dieting, you need to increase your protein even more. So let's just say you're doing 200 grams, you weigh 200 pounds, and now you're gonna diet, you're gonna lower your carbs. I would actually increase the protein another 50 grams. So I'd go from 200 to 250 grams, you know, a little bit extra, and then while you're lowering your carbohydrates, again, if you're dieting or on your low carb diet. So that's pretty much it. I hope this was helpful. Let me know your other muscle building questions below. Keep in mind, you always have to make sure your testosterone levels are optimal. That's the other thing. Better testosterone increases protein synthesis, so you utilize the protein better, all right? Also, protein gets utilized best, you know, around the workout, same with the carbohydrates. So I have even more carbs and protein before, and then some, like I said, during, and then also after after my workout. So you get to utilize it more, gets better absorbed in the muscles, and it's less likely to turn into body fat. So I hope that was helpful. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and wish you a very happy and healthy day. Bye.